And welcome back to part 8 of Derping Around Fable 3. So I noticed that there was an issue with the sound, with being staticky, so I thought I fixed it by uninstalling it and then installing it again, but apparently it's still there, so it's something with the save file. It only happens if loud noises, like casting a full...
I'm at your command.
Doing this or something. Well done. So we're just gonna get through this quickly.
All stand
getting
for the Queen.
Really irritating.
Today, you will decide what is to be done with the Bowerstone Old Quarter, site of the Battle for Albion. Paige will offer her proposal. Reva shall stand against her.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, our victory came at a great cost to the city. You vowed to fight poverty, but
we destroyed the Old Quarter. It's only right we rebuild it.
The Queen has reached her decision. The Old Quarter shall be rebuilt, and its former residents will have their homes returned.
Thank you, Your Majesty. This will be a very popular move.
I suppose there may be something to be gained by rebuilding part of the city. It shows our sense of industry has not yet been dampened. Very well, Your Majesty.
Despite the current climate of fear and great national need, Reva Industries has once again struck a blow for the honest man on the street. The sad sight of the decayed and war-torn Old Quarter is no more. We are proud to present the new Old Quarter.
Astonishing, Your Majesty. So early in your reign, and already the treasury is replete. I cannot recall seeing a more beautiful spectacle. And yet there is still a kingdom to be run, and it never hurts to amass more gold. As a matter of fact, our very first order of business might have a bearing on our financial situation. The time has come. The people will be delighted, Your Majesty. But will they thank you when they are dead? Not unless they are turned into some sort of awful zombie creatures. That isn't what is going to happen, is it? Anyway, this will leave a sizable gap in the treasury. Unless you can cover the expenses out of your own pocket, I'm afraid we shall be in dire straits indeed. Let us now turn our attention to the rest of today's business. Here is the royal schedule I have prepared. As you can see, you have a busy day in the court, but a tremendously enjoyable one. Decoration is a passion of mine, and I simply cannot wait to see your choice. The interior designers await you in the throne room.
Today you decide on the decor of the castle. Two of Albion's greatest interior designers have come to present their suggestions.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I am Herman Worthy, and I have a design in mind that will blow your
I wish this to be an enlightened castle.
Oh, fabulous, Your Majesty, fabulous! Your castle will be a vision of purity.
And what's more, fashion and good taste must choke down their nausea.
Today you decide on the future of Aurora, Your Majesty. Kaelin will speak for her people. Reva will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
I am here to seek the protection you promised. It is too long since
I will keep my promise. Aurora will become part of Albion, and its people will be our equals in every way.
The Queen has spoken. Aurora shall be rebuilt as part of Albion, and equal to every other part of the kingdom.
Thank you, Majesty. You have proven to be a woman of honor. Aurora is proud to stand at your side.
Right. Now for an expedition, save money and all that.
Improved Aurora, an oasis of friendship, camaraderie, and many other lovely things. Visit the city that Riva Industries rebuilt from sand, stone, and corpses. Enjoy the sunshine, the odd local customs, and the heavy soldier presence. Aurora, a light blooming in the darkness.
A most brave decision in court today, Your Majesty. Aurora might have proven to be a rather profitable resource, but I'm sure we can find other means of filling the treasury. As a matter of fact,
5 minutes,
we could already have stumbled upon such an opportunity. Aurora may not turn out to be a waste after all. It seems that a group of Albion explorers visiting Aurora have discovered a rare diamond in the desert. They heard the legend of this extraordinary gem from the locals, and understandably set out to find it, without a moment's regard for their own lives. Which may go some way to explaining why only one of the explorers returned in one piece. He came back empty-handed, speaking of the hideous desert beings protecting the treasure. Think of the glory, Your Majesty, the adventure, the romance, the large sums of money we stand to make. The diamond is located in one of the caves beneath the Auroran wasteland, reportedly the site of an ancient abandoned
He won't let me pull it out.
You need only to take it.
There it is. The treasure. And to the side, a silver key.
It's more beautiful than I dared to imagine. And heavy, too. Our experts estimate it's worth a small fortune. Of course, now the question becomes, what do you wish to do with this fine stone? Shall I deposit the money from the sale into the treasury? A truly selfless act. I am constantly in awe of your generous and noble spirit. Putting the safety of your people before your own reward. Bravo, Your Majesty. Bravo.
Shut up, Hobbins. Shut up. No one likes you. No one.
You have shown yourself to be a most talented monarch. The treasury is positively overflowing. You might even consider borrowing a little for yourself. Of course, it never hurts to earn even more. Who knows what the future will bring? With that in mind, I would like to discuss the thorny issue of child benefits, which were abolished. Very well, Your Majesty.
I have enough money to almost save Albion twice.
I'm sure. Perhaps you are considering making a personal donation to the treasury to make up for the shortfall. It is entirely your decision, as always.
Shut up.
Shall we proceed with the rest of your appointments? Here is the royal agenda for the day. As you can see, you have 2 audiences in the throne room to begin. I've heard rumors that Riva's latest proposals are both scandalous and delicious. It should be most entertaining.
This hearing concerns the future of the Bowerstone Shelter and Orphanage. Paige will speak for the disenfranchised people of the city. Riva will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, the shelter has long been the only refuge for the homeless, the poor, and the orphaned. And until we can change the whole world for the better, it will continue to be their only hope of survival.
The poor of this city have suffered enough. We will renovate the shelter and orphanage.
The Bowerstone Shelter shall be
and I can obviously
refurbished.
replace it.
at the Crown's expense.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You've done the right thing.
As you wish, Your Majesty. The parentless tykes and their destitute friends shall have a palace to call their own. Are you a beggar, too lazy to own your own clothes? Or perhaps an orphan, aching for a bowl of gruel? Then come to Riva Industries Shelter and Orphanage, where you'll find food, beds, clothes, and even new parents. No matter who you are, we care, even if you don't deserve it.
Today, you will deal with a pressing environmental issue: the disposal of the city's waste. Riva will offer his proposal. A member of the Morningwood community will stand against him.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I'm sure you will have noticed a certain
like I said, I could save almost save Albion
even
twice.
more.
Morningwood is to be left unspoiled. We will find other ways to deal with Bowerstone's sewage problem.
The Queen has spoken. Morningwood shall not be used as a waste site. The Sanitation Committee will look into safer alternatives.
Groovy. You are like a majestuous
no, like that,
eagle, Your Majesty. You were in touch with your inner innards. Granny Nature thanks you from, like, the bottom of her heart.
A pity. I must admit I was rather looking forward to breathing fresh air, but I'm sure Your Majesty knows best.
Shut up, Reaver.
There is nothing as
Don't
important
make me confiscate
as the
that
health
seal.
and hygiene of our citizens. As such, Riva Industries is delighted to announce the opening of the Bowerstone Sewage Recycling Facility, because there can be no affluence without effluence.
The day is almost over, Your Majesty. Only one more appointment left. Page has requested a meeting in the old rebel headquarters. How very cloak and dagger. I wonder what she wants.
It's not every day a queen walks into the rebel headquarters. You've changed the world since we last stood here.
You had a lot to do with it, Paige.
But we still haven't changed things enough. Without Logan's troops, crime is becoming a serious problem. There's one man in particular, Nigel Ferret. He's making this city his own. Every criminal in Bowerstone reports to him now. He's too powerful for me to deal with, and he's not easy to find. But I know how you can get to him. Good. Kid went undercover with a gang of robbers and found out their plans. They're going to strike the tavern in Bowerstone Market. If you get there in time, you can stop the raid. And at least one of those thugs must know where Ferret is holed up.
If you cooperate, you won't get hurt. But if you give us any trouble, we'll kill you. Now, just so you know we mean business, I'd like one of you to give us trouble, so we can kill him as an example to the rest. Who's it gonna be then? Oh look, we have a volunteer. The Queen, no less. Have at her, fellas. Do you ever wonder what your spleen looks like? Let's find out.
Rather you than me.
I didn't even move.
It is no longer advantageous for any of us to frequent the hideout in Industrial. Presently, I shall inaugurate a new centre of operations in Bowerstone Market. You've been provided with a key which will permit access. Please endeavour to prevent its transference to an unauthorised individual. You again?
Guess me.
It does tend to obviate the entire objective of maintaining a secret hideout, if your enemies can simply infiltrate whenever they've the inclination. Lads, perform the specific services for which I employ you. Expeditiously.
Huh?
Killer! Fast!
Let's see your skills then.
Brilliant! I believe I can state with relative confidence that your efforts are in vain. Even should it transpire that you vanquish my associates, this door is completely impenetrable. In addition to which, this cell contains a secret egress through which I may abscond whenever I desire. Meanwhile, my compatriots shall brutalize your person.
I'm bored of...
You haven't lost your touch. I'm surprised his men were foolish enough to fight you.
Now, truth be told, my superlative intellect notwithstanding, it would appear this is not, in fact, the specific cell I so confidently referenced earlier. The one with the secret exit has 2 beds. All right, you have prevailed, Your Majesty. I concede. However, I entreat you to entertain a certain proposal.
You have nothing to offer, Ferret. It's over.
Ah, that pronouncement is objectively devoid of merit. I happen to have on my person a substantial quantity of currency. Let me go free, and the money is yours. You royal miscreant! This grievous malefaction shall be rewarded with equally grievous retribution.
The treasury is simply bursting with wholesome, nutritious gold. I sometimes spend hours staring at this glorious accomplishment. Our wealth surpasses all expectations. I must congratulate you, Your Majesty. But the kingdom demands your attention once more. The time has come to make a decision on Albion's drinking laws. Under Logan's rule, our citizens are restricted in the amount of alcohol they can purchase per day. As you can imagine, this has proved a rather unpopular measure. And yet many respected members of the community think the law does not go far enough. They would like alcohol consumption wholly abolished among the common.
Skip it.
Very good. Perhaps this is not the time to be implementing radical new measures. It will give both the gentry and the rabble something to complain about. Who knows? It may take their minds off their impending doom. Let us move on to other matters, Your Majesty. You have a busy day in the throne room ahead. Samuel, the head of the Brightwall Academy, is ready to plead his case. I sincerely hope he isn't after a handout, though I'm sure Master Reaver will be the voice of reason, as always.
And, oh, that could be it. So, remember you can follow me on Twitter at Intergroup. I just one break. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. And, there you go. You're about.